Continuing from the previous episode 2475. The aura of this monster is a little weird. That orange light is indeed a holy flame, but this guy has no mind at all. Has he become a monster that only knows how to kill? And looking at his appearance, he doesn't seem to be acquainted with Hell Yan slaves. The six-path reincarnation puppet should be one of the six-path reincarnation immortals' housekeeping skills. How can they be so unbearable to guard the outermost periphery? No, it can't be delayed like this. You must get out as soon as possible. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Yan suddenly froze, his footsteps on the ground, and waves of heat rose from his body, with awe-inspiring fighting intent. Breakthrough. The Xuanbing sacred fire eagle stretched out its front claws slightly, and grabbed Xiao Yan's direction with a gleam of cold light. The seemingly simple blow, but in this strange void, brought bursts of astonishing energy fluctuations. Bang! A claw fell. Xiao Yan quietly took a few steps back. The void in front of him was filled with terrifying energy fluctuations, and immediately a faint smile appeared on the corner of Xiao Yan's mouth. Blood-devouring monument. Xiao Yan's voice just fell, and 10 blood-colored stone tablets, blessed by the power of blood-red reincarnation, poured out. As soon as they poured out, they completely surrounded the body of the Xuanbing Holy Fire Eagle. The powerful suppression force made the latter look embarrassed. Stand up. Roar. Feeling the appalling asterisk power and the enormous repressive power on these blood monuments, two groups of energies of different colors began to rise slowly in the chest of the Xuanbing Holy Fire Eagle. One is naturally a representative of the power of extreme cold, and the other is a fiery red flame, and the two surround him, forming a strong pressure that is barely visible. Suppress me. Xiao Yan slapped the Xuanbing Holy Fire Eagle with the palm of his hand, and immediately formed a blood-red storm, carrying the spirit-devouring blood tablet to suppress it. Where the blood-colored storm passed, all the surrounding forest trees were completely destroyed, and some weak monsters fled away in horror. Boom! Facing Xiao Yan's attack like this, Xuanbing's sacred fire eagle's giant mouth let out a roar like cold hum. The huge wings suddenly shook, and two completely different energy light groups came out of the body directly, colliding against the blood-colored storm. And go! The two terrifying attacks raged out like lightning, and as soon as they hit, the entire space fell silent. What an annoying fly! The roaring sound continued to sound, the entire forest was filled with smoke, and extremely terrifying energy fluctuations were released from each other. I won't play with you anymore. The next moment, Xiao Yan watched many figures go to the edge of Samsara Pond together, and one jumped into it, Xiao Yan said with a grin. Crack! The void distorted, and the time-space shuttle handprint opened, and the distance was instantly opened. Without any hesitation, it poured into the huge lake of Samsara Pond. Roar! Being played by Xiao Yan like this, Xuanbing's sacred fire eagle roared in the sky, and a terrifying wave was released in his eyes, but just after chasing to the edge of Samsara Pond, he stopped chasing and killing strangely. Even his eyes were filled with a look of fear that he had not seen for a long time, as if there were some powerful creatures in the pool of reincarnation below. Therefore, in this world of reincarnation, no beasts or creatures dare to approach the pool of reincarnation. At the time of the crisis contact, Xiao Yan took a long breath of relief and focused on exploring the Samsara lake. Wong buzzing. Xiao Yan had just poured into Samsara Pond, and an extremely cold ice soul energy poured into his body like a needle, and his soul, fighting chi, etc. were all shocked. It seemed that in such a place, the many powers in his body have been suppressed like never before. And the most strange thing is that, with the 6 types of holy flames in his body, he can still feel such a strong pressure. If he were another strong person, he would face 3 more pressures. The location of the *** flame slave. With a move of his mind, he instantly found the latter's position, so Xiao Yan rushed directly to the depths of Samsara Pond. The reincarnation pool is very large, and it is said that it is a lake. In fact, it is an extremely large lake. Most of the lake water is dark orange, and it vaguely reveals a cold feeling that goes deep into the bone marrow. While Xiao Yan was moving, on his body and arms, there were bursts of sparkling ice strands. Even a powerhouse like Xiao Yan, who is somewhat protected by holy flames, is like this in this pool of reincarnation. The situation of other powerhouses is probably self-evident. Peeved, as expected of the Samsara Pond. Hurry up, After defeating the two girls, we will take the opportunity to go down and collect those treasures. Reaching out, the soul seducer said with a gloomy smile, "What are you urging to destroy? This puppet is so vicious. Why don't you come?" The path of the dissatisfied messengers of hell. In the depths of Samsara Lake, there is a huge group of palaces at the bottom of the lake surrounded by dark yellow lake water. At this time, extremely fierce attacks erupted here. These three haunted guys. Yueru held the moon god's sword. Her arms were numb as she looked at the three people in front of her and the ancient palace complex not far below. There is such a huge palace complex below. The heavenly dinged divine needle must be hidden in it, but the top priority now is to defeat the three messengers of *** in front of them. Otherwise, once they are defeated and expelled, I am afraid it will be difficult to enter it. I'll stop them for a while. You quit to help Xiao Yan. As long as Xiao Yan comes, these three guys are naturally nothing to be afraid of. After a while, Yueru Zaidu gritted her teeth and said solemnly. Yun Yun didn't answer, but the aura emanating from the divine sword behind her was even more strange, and the source of the strangeness seemed to be in the huge palace complex below. Everyone came to this underwater world and tried several methods but couldn't get into it, so they came up with this cannibalism method. Hey, don't worry, you guys don't have that chance. Hell Realm, Wheel Curtain. The messenger of ** sneered. The illusory soul body suddenly expanded hundreds of times, and then a trace of black mist gushed out, trying to wrap the two women little by little. Bang! There was a hint of perseverance in the eyes of Hell Flame Slave, and he punched out, which turned out to be a huge gap in the reincarnation domain of the Hell Messenger. Go! The two women looked at each other, and immediately moved their bodies, swiftly heading towards the outside of Samsara Lake. Now it's too chaotic here. There are countless battle circles, big and small. Obviously, these guys are trying to obliterate their competitors and come here to find a way to enter the palace. The two benefactors should stay here. Zen Master Wuxiang poured out, and the Buddha's light all over his body appeared, which directly blocked the two girls' retreat. Xiao Yan, that idiot, is actually quite blessed. But it's a pity. As the soul-enchanting messenger spoke, an attack of extremely destructive power slowly poured out from his palm, rippling away. Ha ha ha, if the three of you bully the lesser like this, you won't be afraid of being a laughingstock? Immediately, a figure wrapped in glass-colored flames appeared here like a howling wind, carrying an extremely surging anger. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2476. Xiao Yan, are you actually alright? How can it be? Looking at Xiao Yan, who appeared with a smile in front of him, the soul body of the messenger of ** was slightly shaken, and his eyelids twitched violently. The killing power of the Xuanbing sacred fire eagle is obvious to all. No one has ever been able to escape its attack. Why is Xiao Yan able to escape so easily? Since you took the initiative to pick things up, let's settle the account between us here. Holy flame space. Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and the huge holy flame power roared out, instantly covering everyone. Among the three, two were from the Hell Realm, so Xiao Yan naturally would not use the Samsara Realm, the Hall of Advancement and other means. Go ahead and kill them together. At this moment, the three people on the opposite side shared the same hatred, and bursts of surging energy poured out of their bodies, trying to attack. The three of them and Xiao Yan had a grudge against each other, and now it is natural that a fierce battle is inevitable. Besides, the three messengers of ** also have ambitions that belong to them. Xiao Yan, since you insisted on coming here to die, then we will fulfill you. Although they were in the holy flame space, the three of them were not afraid. The long sharp tongue of the soul-eating messenger wriggled, releasing a rather gloomy and terrifying aura, staring at Xiao Yan with sharp eyes. Soul Escaper and Hell Messenger belonged to the Hell Realm, and they had long wanted to compete with Xiao Yan in the human realm. Are you also going to interfere in our affairs? Xiao Yan waved his hand and signaled the two women behind him not to act rashly. Zen Master Wuxiangmo is my master. The monk in a cassock opened his mouth slowly, but when he mentioned Zen Master Wuxiangmo, the golden light in his body was prosperous, and there was quite a strong pressure. It turned out to be an old rival. When Xiao Yan heard this, he smiled slightly. The Zen Master Wuxiangmo was originally among the powerhouses in the three realms, the powerhouses in the Buddha realm, and the powerhouses in the three realms joined forces to suppress the Soul Eater, and after the Soul Eater recovered, he should have sought revenge. The relationship between Xiao Yan and the Lord of Soul Eater can easily be grafted onto Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan smiled at this and said slowly, "Let's fight." Boom! As soon as the voice landed, the entire holy flame space was suddenly twisted, and scorching holy power poured out, turning it into a sea of fire. At the moment when this sea of holy flames appeared, the faces of the enchanter and the messenger of *** suddenly became distorted and ugly, and their words and deeds were as if they were going to smash Xiao Yan's corpse into 10,000 pieces. The sea of fire that Xiao Yan's 6 kinds of holy flames turned into flames now has a huge suppression for the soul body of this ** world. A self-righteous thing. Go ahead and kill him. He has many kinds of holy flames on him. That will be my biggest bargaining chip in the battle against the reincarnation flames of the heavenly Tao. The soul-enchanting messenger grinned, and his long tongue shook, unexpectedly sketching a ghostly soul all over his body, and invisibly releasing an extremely terrifying mourning sound. In the eyes of the messenger of hell, the gloomy and cold light shone brightly, and the majestic gloomy aura in his hands swept out like a surging wave, blasting towards Xiao Yan. Bang! With the special sinister power of the ** world, it is surging, but under the resistance of a bunch of reincarnation power wrapped in glazed flames, it cannot advance at all. Xiao Yan also combined holy flame with the power of reincarnation. Without any hesitation, he punched the ** messenger. 2 earth-shattering and terrifying fluctuations suddenly resounded in the holy flame space. Soul Scythe. The soul seducer's face was gloomy, and his black eyes contained a terrifying power. He directly threw out the long tongue and turned it into a yin-chi sickle that shot towards Xiao Yan. Crack! The crisp sound of the sword sound resounded, and just as the long tongue moved, it was blocked by a silver sword shadow. Your opponent is me. Yun Yun's 3,000 blue silks fell like a waterfall, holding the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor sword. The body of the sword directly locked the envoy of the soul, and the beautiful eyes turned, quite a kind of arrogance and domineering of the goddess of war. Your opponent is me. On the other side, Zen Master Wuxiang was entangled by Yueru just as he was about to act. Wang buzzing. The 3 battles started completely, and the power of reincarnation spread out, causing the holy flame space to be slightly turbulent. Your strength is no more than that. With a tie, the messenger of ** grinned and sneered. The blow just now was indeed a tie. Although the power of reincarnation that Xiao Yan unleashed was accompanied by the blessing of holy flames, it was extremely strange, but his own special yin power that originated from the ** world was absolutely extraordinary. Next, Fire Cassock. Under such a situation, Zen Master Wuxiang in the distance suddenly took out a red cassock bathed in flames from his arms and threw it to the messenger of hell. The Lord of Soul Eater obliterated Zen Master Wuxiangmo, and he were originally mortal enemies. Now that he meets his disciple, he will naturally try his best to obliterate him. If you're happy now, it's too early. The fire cassock is one of the treasures in the Buddhist world. Although it is not comparable to a divine weapon, wearing it is enough to isolate most of the holy flame's power. Without the holy flame, you are like an ant in my eyes. The cassock was directly worn on the body, the corner of the ** messenger's mouth evoked a faint smile, and the shadows of sinister and vicious souls followed one after another. Those ghosts hold different musical instruments in their hands, as if they are about to perform a certain movement. Not always. Xiao Yan shook his head, and immediately the fire in his eyes dimmed, and a touch of silver fox suddenly poured into his heart. This is... Immediately, feeling this strange power, the messenger of ** frowned. On Xiao Yan's skin, there was a trace of extremely strange gray light penetrating out, and inside his body, it seemed that there was some ancient and powerful force that was slowly awakening. Wang buzzing, the low humming sound of thunder resounded like a beast. This is a thunder attribute? This guy, why does cultivation have 2 attributes? Zen Master Wuxiang and the Enchanter of Soul Seducers knocked back their opponents with one blow, and immediately looked at the strange thunderbolt on Xiao Yan's body, with a look of disbelief in their eyes. In the information they got, isn't the Lord of Endless Fire Domain a powerhouse specializing in fire attributes? Hell Messenger, don't panic. Xiao Yan only cultivated the power of flame to the extreme, and the power of thunder is not outstanding. Defeat him with the fastest speed. Zen Master Wuxiang was in full bloom and directly resisted his opponent. Hell Soul Technique. 3 souls and 7 souls into the magic song. Boom! The messenger of asterisk raised his stern eyes, a cold smile appeared in his mouth, and 10 soul shadows appeared together behind him. It just appeared, but the entire holy flame space is filled with the sound of countless ghosts and ghosts shouting and lamenting, with the musical instruments in the hands of the 10 ghosts performing some kind of soul-stirring chapter. Under the rendering of this sound wave, the entire holy flame space is filled with a wave of extreme sadness. Thunderfire Hell Fist. Seeing this extreme soul attack, Xiao Yan suddenly displayed the soul defense Do skill Tianshu he had obtained before, and instantly became immune. The whole body of Grey Thunder appeared, and with the colored glaze flame attached to the fist, a huge figure appeared behind Xiao Yan, and immediately swept out like lightning, carrying a fist of Grey Thunder and glazed holy flame, mercilessly attacked. Blast off the chest of the Messenger of Hell. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2477. Looking for death. Seeing that Xiao Yan was so ignorant of his own soul attack, the messenger of *** grinned and sneered. Soul attack is their signature method in the *** world. Wherever the soul sound wave spreads, they all have the ability to collapse mountains and rocks. Such terrifying power acts on a quasi-triple reincarnation level powerhouse. Naturally, it is like pinching an ant to death. Simple. Clang clang clang. The 10 soul shadows shattered instantly, and above the fists flashing with 2 kinds of energies, bursts of golden iron humming sounded, and a terrifying force that ripped apart everything swept out from it. Guru. Seeing such a terrifying aura, the *** messenger was at a loss for a while, and looked at Xiao Yan who was approaching with a look of astonishment. Want to run? With a punch, the sacred flame space was directly chiseled and twisted, and the entire body of the messenger of ** sank like a convulsion. Xiao Yan rubbed his fist slightly, and immediately slapped the distance with his palm. Xiao Yan, this messenger is the messenger of hell. If you kill me, the ** world will never let you go. At this moment, the ** messenger's soul body is illusory, as if it will be completely broken at any time. The attack of his own soul just now clearly could tear Xiao Yan apart completely, but for some unknown reason, Xiao Yan completely ignored this attack. The last punch directly shattered his soul body, especially in the extremely dim gray light, as if there were some kind of extreme fluctuations that only existed in the ancient times. The world of hell. We'll go there sooner or later. Peefed. Hands up and hands down, the body of the * messenger was crushed by Xiao Yan in an instant, with the power of holy flame restraining the soul body. The * messenger disappeared like this. Whoa! In the 2 battle circles in the distance, watching Xiao Yan slaughtered the messengers of * with such a thunderous means, a roar of extreme anger sounded. Xiao Yan, you dared to kill the messenger of hell. The powerhouses of our * world will never spare you. The ecstasy envoy who vaguely had the upper hand in the distance heard the words. His voice was cold, and the waving of his long tongue actually outlined a trace of extremely complicated energy fluctuations. Hell flame slaves, do it and kill them together. After all, Xiao Yan is not a soft-hearted person, not to mention that he has already formed a grudge with the enchanter, so naturally he will not let the tiger return to the mountain. This guy. Zen Master Wuxiang cast a glance at the messenger of * in the distance, and the Thunderfire Hell King Fist not only shattered his soul body, but even the cassock he gave to the messenger of * disappeared completely without a trace. This so-called Xiao Yan, not only the holy flame, but even the cultivation of thunder power is equally tyrannical and outrageous. Appeal. Yin Feng roared angrily, and the soul seducer's eyes narrowed. He had a lot of dread about Xiao Yan's endless methods. Shabu! The illusory palm of the soul enchanting messenger suddenly protruded forward, and then he clenched it tightly, and the majestic and gloomy soul power swept out, filling the entire holy flame space, and when the figure moved, it burst out like a ghost king. When Xiao Yan saw this, Hell Yan knew and the 2 girls entangled Zen Master Wuxiang together, and his body was also covered with gray thunder and flame power, and shot directly at the enchanter who came towards him. Bang! The majestic and eerie soul power and the divine reincarnation aura swept through, two completely different energies touched, and the loud sound resounded and hummed endlessly. But after a while, the body of the enchanter trembled violently, and almost instantly flew out from the center of the explosion, and even a trace of liquid like human blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. No phase cut. At the moment when the enchanter was blown away, Xiao Yan raised his hand, and a giant ruler of energy formed entirely of flames and thunderlight poured into his palm, quietly raised it and slashed towards the sky. Bang! Wu Xiongzhan disappeared without a trace, and it was difficult to defend at all. The body of the enchanter was severely damaged by a blow. Having suffered such serious injuries twice in a row, the enchanter suddenly became crazy, and on the long tongue, bursts of gloomy black mist suddenly appeared. With the help of the huge soul power, it was not difficult for Xiao Yan to find that in the black mist, there was a dark column. Above the pillars, the whole body is full of dark and strange lines, and there is even a dark chain wrapped around the pillars, as if it is suppressing and sealing something. Hell Reincarnation Pillar. Suffer it to death, boy. The long tongue changed, and this magic pillar actually changed several completely different rays of light, and the enchanter looked at the unstoppable Xiao Yan in front of him with sharp eyes. Are the weapons in the asterisk world similar to fairy weapons? Xiao Yan narrowed his eyes, and could vaguely smell some special power from them. Boom! As soon as the enchanter finished speaking, a strange black light erupted from the Hell Reincarnation Pillar that was suppressed by the seal. The black light contained an extremely terrifying and ferocious aura. Wild beasts, soul power and this kind of extraterrestrial vicious power are useless to me. There was some surprise in Xiao Yan's eyes, but the next moment, a delicate flaming lotus rose slowly from under his feet. Above the six-color lotus platform, there is a beautiful and delicate lotus seed suspended. Before the evil aura of the black on of Hell's Reincarnation Pillar spreads, the six-color lotus pad has just surged, and a burst of six-color energy burst out with extremely harsh and scorching high temperature, evaporating all the ferocious aura that spread out. The Reincarnation Pillar of Hell is a weapon of the asterisk world, not as good as an artifact is just a category of fairy weapons, but a weapon used by the asterisk world to absorb the vicious aura of some human souls obsessed in their lifetimes. The Hell Reincarnation Pillar is very powerful, and it is extremely difficult to tame. After controlling it, its power is comparable to that of an artifact. Unfortunately, this guy met Xiao Yan. This is the end of it. Xiao Yan snorted coldly, and controlled the lotus platform step by step to walk towards the enchanter. The six-color lotus seeds directly invaded the surroundings of the Hell's Samsara pillar, making its chains buzzing and extremely fearful. Boom! The six-color lotus seeds completely ignored the erosion of the vicious aura. The moment they just touched the whole body of the Hell Reincarnation Pillar, an indescribable ferocious force suddenly burst out from the Hell Reincarnation Pillar. The terrifying and ferocious aura, which even had escaped the purification of the six-color lotus seeds, unexpectedly flooded into Xiao Yan's mind, and soul realm along Xiao Yan's arm, making Xiao Yan's eyes instantly turn evil. Bloody red. Blast! The next moment, Xiao Yan finally did not have any depression, and squeezed his palm tightly. Six-color lotus seeds exploded around the pillar of Hell's Samsara, and the colorful energy flames formed a beautiful scenery. At this moment, anyone can feel the terrifying power contained in the six-color lotus seeds. With the sound of the explosion, energy fluctuations swept out, and the temperature of the entire holy flame space dropped to the extreme in an instant. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2478. Bang! The deafening sound shattered the sky, and the holy flame space couldn't bear the enormous pressure, and collapsed suddenly. The bodies of everyone appeared at the bottom of the Samsara lake, but the violent energy fluctuations just touched the latter, but it was like the trial of the King of Hell, constantly depriving the life force of the enchanting messenger, but in this Samsara lake, it was not. Instead of setting off monstrous waves, it is as weak as a series of extremely gentle water ripples. The terrifying explosive force seemed to be compressed dozens of times in an instant. Do not. The soul-enchanting messenger's face was pale, and his entire soul body was as weak as shriveled, but when he saw that the pillar of ** reincarnation actually exploded under Xiao Yan's six-color lotus seeds, cracks gushed out one after another, as if it would be completely destroyed at any time, almost roaring and roaring. Road. Why is this Xiaoyan's strength so terrifying? Crack. With a bang, the Hell Reincarnation Pillar was completely shattered, and the countless ferocious auras were instantly purified by the afterglow of the holy flame power. In the reincarnation pool, the face of the enchanter was instantly pale, and a touch of unease finally emerged uncontrollably. Peefed. With a sound, on the other side, Zen Master Wusheng's chest was also suddenly pierced by the sword of Yunyan Taiji Heavenly Emperor, and his vitality was rapidly passing away. With the cooperation of the two women and Hellfire Slave, this guy is naturally self-defeating. No matter how majestic his anger towards Xiaoyan was, he was helpless at this time. It was obvious that the scene where the Master of Soul Eater obliterated Zen Master Wuxiang Demon was happening. Suck. Slip. With one hit, Xiaoyan just wanted to completely obliterate the last trace of their origin, but unexpectedly, two extremely terrifying energy beams burst out from Yunyan's body in an instant. The beams of light were like two hungry wolves. The last trace of the source of the soul enchanting messenger and the Wuxiang Zen Master was swallowed up. Immediately, the feedback was a ray of light, and it returned to Yunyan's delicate body. This? Yu Ru in the distance also looked at Yunyan with a surprised expression. The two beams of light just now were clearly two peerless fierce spirits on the Tai Chi Heavenly Emperor sword. They actually took the initiative to swallow the origin of the two reincarnation powerhouses. Force? It should be fine. The trio of messengers from *** was destroyed in Xiaoyan's hands like this. Xiaoyan hurriedly came to Yunyan's side, looked at Yunyan whose cheeks were slightly flushed, and said with concern. The fierce spirit was forcibly suppressed by the Heavenly Emperor at the beginning, and even Xiaoyan could not easily expel it, so he never acted rashly, but such a move at this time is really weird. Fine. Yunyan smiled sweetly, and the Taiji Heavenly Emperor's sword was instantly withdrawn into its scabbard, trying to calm down her breath, but the two fierce spirits on it seemed to slowly undergo some kind of strange transformation after they were swallowed. When the battle was over, Xiaoyan just had time to look at the underwater world under the lake of Samsara. The huge palace complex below is extremely complete, but there are water currents flowing here. Those water currents seem to form one after another extremely mysterious power. There are even other powers that protect the world below from everyone. Explore. The most important thing is the battle of the few people in the holy flame space. The energy fluctuation of that level, placed in any void, is enough to cause an uproar, but here, there is only a trace of energy ripples. This scene is extremely strange. These guys actually obliterated the two messengers from *** and Zen Master Wuxiang? With the appearance of Xiaoyan and the others, several figures were already standing there, near the palace group 100 meters above the water. Among them, there are many strong men such as Nether Sea Dragon Snake, Wandu Gu Girl, and Human Realm. These powerhouses looked away from the palace group below, looking at Xiaoyan and the three in the distance. An invisible oppression came. Just let you chatter for a while, anyway, here will be your burial place sooner or later. Tang Feng cast a sharp glance at Xiaoyan, as if he had a plan. How's it going? Just after dealing with the three, Xiaoyan hurriedly swept towards the bottom, and easily came to the side of the Serenity Sea Dragon Snake and the Myriad Poison Gu Girl, and asked. A few of them, apparently have been here for a while, but have made no progress. Look, at the bottom of the lake of Samsara Lake here, there are water currents surging. Those water currents are arranged in a very mysterious way, and they actually form an extremely powerful formation force, which shelters the huge palace group below. Some people with intentions have already taken the lead and fell into it. If they want to enter the bottom, I am afraid that they need some way. While speaking, Yuhai Dragon Snake pointed at some human stumps in the water stream below, apparently the unlucky guy who just broke into it without authorization. It's a little weird. Will there be guardian beasts under this water flow formation? Xiaoyan squinted his eyes and released a huge amount of soul power, which penetrated towards the bottom little by little. Wong buzzing. The power of the soul has just spread, and within the range of the seemingly slow flow of water, a sharp pain like a knife is transmitted from his soul realm. The torment and pain that pierced into the heart turned Xiaoyan's complexion ashen, and his eyes were full of bloodshots, as if he was facing a great enemy. This water flow formation is definitely not simple. Hey, everyone, Since you've all come here, you can't go back empty-handed, right? Tang Feng sneered slightly, then stepped out first and stood in front of everyone. In the entire Samsara pond, dozens of Tianjiao looked at each other, but no one showed any signs of retreating, but no one showed any signs of forcibly taking action. After all, these guys are all geniuses in their respective realms, and their thoughts are quite the same. The strongest of the vassal races in the center of the human world, Tang Feng. As soon as Tang Feng spoke out, everyone present was slightly startled, and then hesitantly said, "Obviously many people know about this guy's great achievements." "What do you want?" The myriad poison Gu Envy's eyes wrinkled as she stared at Tang Feng vigilantly. Although this guy is well dressed, he always feels that he is not normal. Everyone who ventured here must have come here for the treasures of the 6 paths of reincarnation, immortals and holy flames, but the ancient water formation below troubles us. It is better to gather the strength of all of us to crack this strange formation together, the treasure below. Depending on your ability. What do you guys think? Tang Feng has his pride, and explained with a beaming expression. With such a rhetoric, naturally, I don't want to waste too much power here, otherwise, if any of the dozens of people entrenched here, if all means are used, the mere ancient formation will not be able to stop their pace. However, they are surrounded by enemies, so naturally they are not stupid enough to waste the power of reincarnation helping others pave the way, so this is where the stalemate has just started. Do you know the method of cracking and the trail below? Just when everyone was just thinking about Tang Feng's words, the Hell Flame slave beside Xiao Yan revealed a piece of news that made him ecstatic. Judging from the information revealed by Hellfire slaves, it seems that the world below is the home of their 6 paths reincarnation fire slaves. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 2479. Yunyan, Yueru, follow me later. When Xiao Yan heard the words, he looked at the deep-eyed Hell Flame slave beside him, and suddenly had an idea. He directly transmitted his soul and said to the 2 women at the same time. This strange water flow formation is extremely strange. If one person forcibly cracks it, it will definitely waste too much power. Now, it is just with the help of everyone's strength to jointly crack the formation. When the formation breaks, then sneak into the bottom to search for treasures. Okay. The 2 women chanted silently in their hearts, and immediately became quiet, ready to follow Xiao Yan at any time. This person is right. In that case, let's do it. You first. Some powerhouses nodded when they heard Tang Feng's words, but their inner defenses did not show any signs of weakening. After all, few people who were able to get to this point were idiots. These idiots. Long buzzing. After Tang Feng finished speaking, he cursed in his heart, but an extremely profound and terrifying force still permeated his body. Boom! Seeing that Tang Feng took the lead, many strong men glanced at each other, and immediately the surging power of reincarnation swept out from the body, forming a colorful river of energy, and suddenly turned into a ferocious beast, swooping towards the water flow formation below. And go! Bang! A deafening sky-shattering sound resounded through the bottom of the lake, and suddenly the surging water formations were twisted a little bit by it, and it didn't last long before it burst open. It is naturally quite simple to gather the strength of everyone to deal with this formation. Now, you can go to the palace group below. As for whether or not you can get the baby, it depends on your ability. As soon as the voice fell, there were shadows of people who turned into meteors, rushing towards the bottom like chasing stars and chasing the moon, and the greed in their eyes couldn't be added. Such a huge palace group below naturally has countless treasures, but whether it can be obtained or not depends on their own good fortune. Let's go too. Xiao Yan and the others did not move rashly, but after waiting for a while, they controlled Hell Yan slaves, constantly communicating and learning some information about the palace group below. Yueru nodded, her silver teeth gritted slightly. She came here on this trip, and what she did was to fix the divine needle. The importance of this thing to the immortal world today cannot be replaced. Hoo! Suppressing the fiery heat in their minds, the 3 of them and Hell Flame slaves swept up, turning into a flash of lightning and pouring into the huge palace group below. The world under the lake in the Samsara Lake is a huge and well-preserved palace complex. There are endless palaces here, and the ancient sacred atmosphere is endless. It seems that everyone knows that this place is probably in the cave. Treasure place. The 4 of them ran fast, but they did not walk towards some magnificent halls like other figures. On the contrary, under the leadership of Hel Yanu, they unexpectedly rushed towards some dilapidated stone halls. It stands to reason that, similar to this ancient book, the palace is getting bigger and bigger, and the treasures contained in it are naturally extremely powerful, but Xiao Yan and the others did the opposite. The front is the place where the needles are stored, so be careful. The speedy journey lasted about 10 minutes, and suddenly in front of Xiao Yan and the others, a dilapidated hall with white walls suddenly appeared. The walls around the main hall had already become dilapidated due to the corrosion of the years, but the surrounding of the entire main hall was empty and extremely spacious, and even in the main hall, the humming noises turned into rolling heat waves. No one around. Go! Yun Yun's beautiful eyes looked around slightly, and found that there was no human figure around the hall. Obviously, there were so many halls, and the powerhouses who came on this trip had already poured into them randomly. Boom! Xiao Yan walked gently, releasing his soul power, always vigilant, wrapping the holy flame in his palm, and slowly slapped away at the main entrance of the stone hall. A roar sounded, and a white mist slowly rippled out. Bang bang bang! The white fog had just spread, but Xiao Yan's body was like a formidable enemy, with blue veins protruding and sweat dripping from his forehead. Then, set the heavenly divine needle. The three of them quietly entered the main entrance of the main hall together and poured into it. They were still at the edge of the main hall when they saw a mask in the main hall. Inside the mask, there is a pillar of Optimus that has never moved. Through the mask, it can be vaguely discovered that there are countless mysterious brilliance on the pillar of Optimus. Sure enough, it's the divine needle for setting the heavens. At this moment, Yun Yun's eyes also had a strong look of gratification pouring out. The immortal realm was torn apart by the heavenly emperor's sword before he died. In the entire great thousand worlds, only the heavenly dinged divine needle can rebuild the immortal realm. What a big hand! 4 puppets. Xiao Yan stretched out his hand to stop Yu Ru, who was fiery fluctuating in his eyes. The round platform in the center of the stone hall was slightly raised, and beside its mask, there were 4 stone statues standing quietly, as if guarding this divine soldier. No, this magic weapon must be obtained. Yueru also knew that the fluctuations contained in the 4 stone statues were not bad, but for the sake of the immortal realm, even if they were smashed to pieces, they had to get them. I know, you stay here. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he led the Hel Yan slave, his body surging like a ghost, and he stepped into the edge of the mask first. You don't remember the specific situation here, can you only vaguely remember the location? When he came to the mask, Xiao Yan was basically able to confirm that the thing protected by the mask was the divine needle in the immortal world. But these 4 stone statues, in Xiao Yan's senses, seemed to have life once they stepped into the round platform or touched the mask. They would wake up like guardians. Their strengths belonged to the triple reincarnation level, which was not enough for Xiao Yan to fear, but Fen Ju in their bodies conveyed a sense of restlessness. This agitation was like encountering some great enemy, and it was the strongest agitation Xiao Yan had ever encountered in his life. Cece, evil breath? What's the matter? Just when Xiao Yan was puzzled, Xiao Yan's eyes shrank tightly, and his whole body was shocked. The 4 stone statues have a faint black air flowing in them. At the moment when the black air surged, all the power in Xiao Yan's body became quiet. The devil is even stronger. Hey, why is the dignified lord of endless fire territory so mother-in-law? Let me help you. At the moment when Xiao Yan was so startled, a gloomy figure appeared on the roof of the stone hall. Immediately, he stretched out his pale palm from the black mist, bit it lightly, and the scarlet blood dripped vertically on the mask. Middle. Wong buzzing. This sudden scene instantly activated the 4 sleeping stone statues, and a violent killing intent permeated the entire hall. Please remember this book's first domain name. Mobile version reading website.